Hey fellas, welcome to the Daily Dash. I'm Dash Retro. Gonna play the daily of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. As you see, I still haven't finished that one run that I had was looking at yesterday. Looks like we're doing Eden. But yeah, that's because I have had my plate full today as far... Oh, geez. Anti-gravity tears. Not one of my favorite items. But then the friend ball, which I have not had a chance to use yet, so I'm actually kind of excited to check that out. What's our pill? It's infested. That is okay. Let's, oh. Did we get... Can you get multiple things in your friend ball? If so, that's kind of cool. Anyway, yeah, you know, I almost didn't even do the daily today because I've just had my hands full. Of course, first of all, it's Tuesday, so Flex and I do Tactical Tuesday on the Super Retro Bros, so on Twitch we stream some Final Fantasy Tactics. We are still making our way through that, but then also I just had all that crap to do with my, how I lost my wallet and all that, getting all that taken care of. But then also, StarCraft 2 came out. StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void released, and so I'm a big StarCraft fan. I don't play, like, multiplayer a bunch. I'm not, like, super good at it. I'm not a nut, anything like that. But I am a big fan of the story. I always have been a big fan of the StarCraft story and just the single-player gameplay. When I was a kid, I played the first StarCraft many times. Many times. That was a game I put a lot of time into. And you know, in my adulthood, I have been very much enjoying the StarCraft 2 campaigns and what they've done with the single-player. It's all been very cool, very engaging, really cool stuff to do in the single player, you know, with all kinds of persistent stat upgrades and that kind of stuff that you can get that, of course, doesn't make sense in a multiplayer setting, but in single player is very cool. So yeah, I don't know if you guys don't know about, like, what StarCraft's single player is all about, and you only know it as this super hardcore multiplayer community. Maybe check it out, just because the campaigns of StarCraft have always been very cool, and the campaigns of StarCraft 2 specifically have been really cool. So yeah, that's all about that. We're fighting the Haunt on floor 1, which is never a ton of fun. And, geez, and on top of that, we have anti-gravity tears. The reason I really don't like this item is that, oh man, okay, we're not gonna die to the Haunt, are we? Okay, I guess we died to the Haunt. Okay, well, we got just about the worst score that you possibly could, with a bunch of other people down here in the worst of the scores. I died to the Haunt. What can I really say about it? It's the Haunt on floor 1. I've decided, though, that if this ever happens, because this happened in a previous video once, I'm gonna do a practice run. I'm gonna see if I can do any better. And let's just pretend that last one didn't happen. We are gonna check out maybe what could have happened if I hadn't been such a dumpy ditz. Now, as I was saying, I really don't like anti-gravity tears. I mean, I'm actually kind of not surprised I died there, because, ooh, it makes your tears float like this until you release, which means that if you want to shoot normally at enemies, you have to sit here and tap the button, which is just, or tap the key, which is just a really unpleasant way to play the game in general. Really, it's best to use the anti-gravity tears as much as you can, but it's just not that good to do like that. So, unless you have Strange Attractor, which was a challenge in original Rebirth called Waka Waka, kind of a Pac-Man reference, where you would lay these out and it would suck enemies into it. I think that's actually a really good combo. Before I ever did the Waka Waka challenge or knew what it was, there was one time in Rebirth that I got the Strange Attractor anti-grav tears combo, and I thought it was really cool and I thought it was pretty good, so it made me really excited to see when it turned out to be a challenge. But just on their own, anti-gravity tears are bullshit and terrible, so yeah. let's try to, I mean, we'll beat the haunt here. I'm actually pretty tired. So, I think I mentioned the other day that I've introduced fruits into my diet. I'm not a fruit eater, but every day, for the past few days, I've been making, oh my god, I've been making Germa shakes, and that is, you know, a banana, about 10 strawberries, a cup of flavorless yogurt, and a dash of milk. All blended together every morning. I've been blending that together, I've been eating it, and mentally, I don't know if it's just a placebo effect, but mentally, I feel a lot better. I feel sharper. However, it also seems, I mean, again, it seems weird that I would feel this big of a change just doing that, but I feel like I've had this change in my sleeping habits, where I've been getting tired at 10 o'clock now, and I've been getting up at 8 or 9 in the morning, like a regular human being. So that's been really weird, you know. Right now it's 11 o'clock, I was just gonna go to bed. Really, I was gonna go to bed at 10, because I was starting to feel tired, but I hadn't played StarCraft yet, you know, I just came off the stream, and I thought, I'll just play one StarCraft mission. And then I was gonna go to bed, and I thought, well, I can't just miss a daily, that's kind of a lame thing to do. So now here I am, I should have gone to bed, you know, over an hour ago, and I just want to do this daily, but boy, like, I'm feeling tired, but in like a good way, where it's like, wow, it's refreshing to not feel like to not feel like there's something wrong with me, where usually I can never, this item's interesting, God's Flesh. It makes certain enemies shrink sometimes when I shoot them, and then apparently I can step on them. I heard that, however, I've tried a couple times and ended up getting hurt, but we'll see how it works this time. Apparently, if I shrink an enemy, I can step on them and kill them. But anyway, it feels like, even though it's like, oh, it's 10 o'clock and I'm tired, how lame, at the same time, it's also liberating to feel like there's not something wrong with me, and that, like, I'm having more of a regular schedule, because usually my sleeping habits are just all over the place. One day, most of the time I won't be able to get to sleep until 5 in the morning. It's just like how my body works. I just don't get tired until then. And even if I do feel tired and feel fatigued, I'll go to bed and I'll just lay there not sleeping until 5 in the morning. It's really has been quite a problem for a very long time that this happens, especially when I work a 9-to-5 job. And what ends up happening is that, like, I build up this fatigue from this lack of sleep until I'll just sleep an entire day, or I'll sleep a day and a half or something, and it's just not a great way to do. I've been doing that for years, and so now suddenly I start eating fruit, and suddenly my sleep schedule is becoming regulated. It's really bizarre. I'm not sure if maybe I'm just going through a normal spell or if something weird is happening, but that's what it feels like right now, is that this healthy, this introduction of proper diet habits has just not only made me feel sharper, but made me feel more regulated. And so I don't look sharper right now, but it's because I should have gone to bed. And yeah, I'm gonna have to be like adjusting my schedule and stuff. I would have just played the game, just done the daily earlier today, but you know, like I mentioned before even the stream, I was out and about doing a bunch of bullshit to get my wallet situation figured out, but that's at least figured out. Box of Friends. I don't think I'm a big fan of the idea of taking that. I'm gonna grab this, see what it is. 2 of clubs, that seems okay. I'll hang on to that, and we'll just move it on down to the next floor. After fighting Monster, of course. So yeah, it looks like I'm a big dumb dummy, and oh, whoops, I forgot to even get something in my friend ball. I don't really know how to use friend ball yet. Also, man, I really don't like anti-gravity tears. Like, it's just making this run kind of annoying to play right now. You know, I want to just hop in and play a quick daily before bed, and now I have to deal with this shit. Now I have to work my fingers out by just mashing these keys, and it's a pain. But, oh well, at the same time, this is still a fun video game, and I'm still happy to be here playing it. But, yeah. Like, if Eden started out with 2 item pedestals in front of her, I would not have taken anti-grav. It's just, it's annoying. You know, though, for the sake of interest, I may have taken it. And actually, now that I say that out loud, it makes me think, you know what, maybe I should just sit here and appreciate it instead of being a big complainer. But man, just having to focus on mashing the key just takes a lot of my ability to dodge away. Whoa, boy. Okay, we are taking it from Krampus here. He is dishing it out, and we are just gobbling it up. I will gladly take Head of Krampus over Friend Ball. Even though Friend Ball seems fun and kind of interesting, I don't really know how to use it, and it's not really the boss nuke that I want it to be. I need something to nuke bosses. Alright. Gotta remember, before I use any bombs, I gotta use this, ooh, I'm hiccuping. I gotta use this card. That is important. So, one interesting thing I did today that I've been meaning to do in a while is that my parents have a few of my old PlayStation 1 games just kind of sitting around. You know, they're still in their basement. I didn't take my PS1 games with me when I moved out, and so some of the games are still around there. And most of them were in pretty rough shape. I remember looking through the PS1 games a long time ago, and I had to get rid of most of them because they were just in really rough, kids played this shape. But a few survived, and I looked through them today and grabbed a couple. One of them being an old demo disc, an old PlayStation Underground demo disc that had 12 demos on it that I played all the time when I was a kid. And what's really interesting to me is just, first of all, that thought. A demo disc that I played all the time. Like, I played each demo on there many, many times. It had a Tomb Raider 2 demo that I really liked. It had a Cool Borders 2 demo that I really liked until we got Cool Borders 2. It had a Fighting Force demo. What else was on there? Colony Wars, Armored Core, and then the star of the show, to me, oh, Parappa the Rapper, the star of the show, though, was this weird little puzzle game called Intelligent Cube. I don't know if you've heard of this game, but it is a bizarre puzzle game produced by Sony for the PS1. It's called Intelligent Cube, cube spelled with a Q, so it's like IQ because it's a puzzle game. And it takes place in like a black void where you are on a pathway made of cubes, and you're just a little dude, and these cubes are about the size of like 3 times as tall as your man. And in front of you, a group of cubes in an entire block spanning the entire width of the path of cubes that are on this, in the middle of this black void. A blockade of cubes will come up different colors in front of you and start ominously and loudly and scarily ka-junk, 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 rolling toward you. And what you need to do as a player is mark squares on the ground to where, for where when a cube steps on one or lands on one, it captures that cube and it takes it away. And the different colored cubes have different effects. So, like, a gray one's just normal. A green one will store this green charge that then later you can blow up and hit all the cubes around. And weird stuff like that. I was hoping for a red heart to be in there, but restock is an item that I really like, and maybe I'll get into that in a bit. But they start rolling toward you, and your job is just to use as few steps or conjuncts as possible to clear all of the non-black cubes. Some of the cubes are black, and you don't want to capture those ones. If you do, the pathway of cubes that you're standing on, the backmost row of them will fall off, and it makes this terrible death sound, like, that's really frightening. I don't know if any of you are Destiny fans or have been playing Destiny lately, but basically when you're in Golgoroth's cellar and you step on one of the plates and it goes and it sounds like you've done something terrible and possibly ushered the apocalypse, that's what it sounds like when you lose a spot of your pathway in Intelligent Cube. And it's frightening. It's like legitimately scary sounding. And that's what really stuck with me about this game and about this demo was the first of all, the visual design of like being in this black void and standing on this platform pathway of cubes, and then the sound design that happened when these cubes fell. It's really bizarre, really ominous, just a very strange game. And I've tried to find it since, like, for kind of cheap on eBay, and apparently you can find it now for about $40, which is cool, because when I was looking a couple of years ago, I remember it being more like $100. So, yeah, I might end up actually looking for a copy of the game to play and to maybe like do a weird retro review or something on it, because it's just this bizarre demo that I had when I was younger and ended up playing a lot. So anyway, I played that today, that demo, and it was cool. It was just like I remembered. One of the things I particularly remember about it also is that it's one of the only games that my dear mother ever played. My mom is not a game player, however she really likes Tetris. Never plays Tetris, but like if you give her Tetris, she'll have a good time with it. But yeah, so she likes Tetris, and then she liked this one weird demo that we had. And then apparently she also played Mario Brothers like once when I was younger and thought it was fun, but thought that she, as an adult, did not have time for it back then. So yeah, that's always stuck with me as well. There's a couple games, like my parents never played or games. They, for the most part, were kind of against me playing games just because I played them so much when I was younger. Like, they bought me my PlayStation 1, you know, they bought me my Game Boy when I was younger, but after that I was kind of on my own. I had that PS1 for, I guess they bought the PS2 also for like a Christmas gift or whatever, but after that, you know, it wasn't until I was 14 or 15, whenever it was that I got a job, that then I bought my GameCube, and I bought my PS3 and my Wii, and all my, even before GameCube, my Game Boy Advance SP, I think was the first system I bought on my own, I'm not sure. But yeah, so anyway, because of that, there's a couple games growing up that my parents were weirdly interested in, and so they've always stuck with me. And yeah, so that demo was one of them. There was also a demo of Tomb Raider 2 on that disc that my dad liked a lot for some reason, and so Tomb Raider 2 is kind of stuck with me. My dad also liked Twisted Metal a lot. We played the first Twisted Metal quite a bit. And then my brother and I, got Twisted Metal 2, 3, 4. Even though 3 wasn't very good, we got 4 anyway, and 4 wasn't very good. But, you know, ever since 989 Studios took over Twisted Metal, it became a much worse franchise. That first one my dad played with us quite a bit. Oh, and there was a demo of Armored Core on there as well that my dad played with me sometimes. So, yeah, just, I don't know if you guys have any games like that like, your parents or someone that you know who isn't usually into games are interested in for some reason, and it kind of, like, for me, it stuck with me, and I'll always remember those games for those reasons. Oh, let's get that thing to blow up that tinted rock. Alright, get a free soul heart. I keep thinking I'm playing as Blue Baby because of the blue tint that Anti-Grav Tears gives to you. So we picked up Restock. That's a really interesting item. I've been doing dailies for a while, but if you look on the channel, you'll also see I recently posted just a regular run of this game that I wasn't recording, but there was a, but I was streaming it on Twitch. Excuse me. And so, afterward, because the run ended up pretty broken, I ended up taking that, Twitch archive and uploading it to YouTube. And the reason is that I had Restock and Steam Sale and Chaos, because, you know, you get that when you buy a lot of shop items, and just a bunch of money. I kept getting money, and so I was able to get just a shitload of items on that run, just from buying off Restock. And I've heard that if you are able to get yourself 2 Steam Sales, it will actually currently... this is probably a bug that will be fixed, I'm not sure. But currently, it will actually reduce the price of items in the shop to 0 cents. And so with that combo, with 2 Steam Sales, Restock, and Chaos, you can get yourself literally every item in the game. So that's very interesting. And I was kind of trying to get that happen. Didn't happen that way, but I was able to get a shitload of items either way. I'm not going to use Krampus's head right away here. I'm going to try to split the Fallen, and then Krampus's head the 2 small Fallens. I think that's the way to go here. Let's hit him with a few things there. Those Godhead tears are doing a good amount of damage when those get loose, and boom! There we go. We got Razor Blade, which is pretty disappointing as far as Devil Deal items go. And I don't really want to take this. I think we're going to hold out for Angel Rooms here, because that's just how I roll. But yeah, Restock is, even without that weird combo, it's an item that I like a lot. So let's actually see what we get out of the shop here. I'm willing to spend 15 cents to roll the dice there. I think 9 volt is pretty good, but I would have liked to see maybe Black Candle. I think I'm feeling the burn of Curse of the Blind right now, and so Black Candle just would have felt like a nice warm hug from a friend. But alas, we have to deal with not that. And that about does it for this floor. I could look for the secret room. In fact, it could be right here. And in the fact that it is makes me very interested to check out up here in our curse room, since it's free. Alright, let's just open this up here. Hey, dead cat. You know, always welcome to see it when I have less life, but at the same time, it is a welcome sight on Catacombs 2 and not much later in the run. So I'm happy to have that. Not gonna walk over those spikes for that, but I will just move on to the next floor here. Flex Retro is in the chat. What's up, Flex? We're doing the daily. I played a little bit of StarCraft as promised, but you know, I just had to play some Isaac before bed. Take a sip of my water here. Whoops, okay, so I meant to skip the cutscene, but because I was drinking water, the cutscene was over for a long time, apparently. And I just used Krampus's head instead. Again, I said this on the last daily, I think, but I accidentally press keys quite often in this game, and it's something that I probably should stop. By the way, it's weird, you have to kill those gray, you have to kill those gray skull faces, but the red ones that you see later in the womb, you don't have to kill. If you kill every other enemy in the room, it actually makes them die as well. So it's weird that you don't have to kill the gray ones. But alright, we sacrificed our 2 black hearts to get those gold chests back there. I think that was worth it, especially because we got a soul heart now, so we're back in... I'm not too worried about missing our devil deal anymore, because we got that back. And let's just shoot those Fruitcake, also, interesting item. I don't love it. In fact, I think a lot of the time, especially when I'm playing on my own and not recording, that's definitely an item that I think I'm going to start passing up. But when I'm recording, though, I mean, I like to kind of take the absurdity, make more interesting videos and that kind of stuff, so I will definitely take it right now. And hey, look at our health right now. I always think about this, but right now we've got red, blue, black in that exact formation. Flex has been talking about getting a tattoo on his arm of those 3 hearts in those 3 colors, which I think would be very cool. I don't know if you guys have ever seen before, but he does already have a tattoo of the buttons of an NES controller on his arm, which I am also jealous of and I think is very cool. Alright, let's see what we got here. So yeah, you can step on those guys when they're shrunk. It seems like I've gotten hurt a couple times doing it, but maybe I've just been trying to step on creep-laying enemies or something like that without noticing. You got something like 2,000 points, Flex. You did better than me. This is actually a practice run now because I completely fucked up at first and had to restart. I just completely whiffed and died to the haunt on the first floor. So now this is a practice run so that I don't publish a 2-minute video. That said, sorry everybody who's been starting to follow this video now, forgetting the fact that it's all for naught. But as a reminder, that shit is unfortunately true. Alright, what do we got? Glass cannon. This item is interesting. I think I'm going to take it with me. It seems really good. Oh, we got a random explosivo shot, so that ended up not really doing anything. Because I think explosivo shots blow up like bombs, and so I believe if your tiers or if your damage is really high, it probably doesn't make a difference. Wait, what the hell happened to all my hearts? I'm not totally sure how this item works yet. I assume if I get hit, it'll break. I think it takes your hearts all the way down? What? Alright, well, I guess I'll pay more attention to that. Oh my god, Mom's Key is so good. I was gonna check out the rest of the floor and see if maybe I can find a Steam sale before buying anything, or before buying anything more, but Mom's Key is just way too good for that. Okay, I think I'm gonna go back to Krampus's head if it pulls that kind of shit. Hematemesis, actually pretty good right now. Oh yeah, it reduces me to a half a heart? Fuck that. That's terrible. What a terrible item. Alright, infested. 1 makes you small. Bad gas. Tears up. Pretty good, alright. I am okay with that turn of events. We will check out our super secret room. And let's go grab Krampus's head back. Screw this shitty item. And I would really... I don't remember what is sitting in the shop right now, but I remember really wanting it. So let's try to find a few more cents while we go here. And man, restock is such a good item. Are you seeing this? It like just makes it so valuable to have a lot of money. Joker card, let's save until we beat the boss. See if we don't get a devil deal, and if we don't, we will pop the Joker card. And this God's Flesh item is actually turning out pretty good against enemies like that. Okay, so that gets us another one. Oh yeah, Humbling Bundle. Fantastic item. Mom's Purse. I like that item quite a bit. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to keep Safety Cap on because the pills rotation has been pretty good. 1 makes you small is good. Tears up is great. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. For some reason I missed this guy. And did these turn into double bombs also? No, okay. I wasn't sure if Humbling Bundle did that. Alright, well I sure would like some more bombs. First of all, to triple my number of bombs. Well, actually it would only be get 50% more bombs because if I get 1 bomb, then I'll get 2 instead. Because of Humbling Bundle, and then I'll use that to get 3. I'll use 1 of them to get 3. Anyway, here's a Tinted Rock also. Man, we could really use a bomb. In fact, the shop probably has one. Yes. Now, now is the decision of whether we go into our curse room. I guess we don't, because I don't like to spend black hearts. I don't know about that, though. Let's grab this. No, not Bible Tract. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the curse room, but I will. Actually, this Tinted Rock gives me a soul heart. Okay, that is good to go into the curse room with. And even though, I mean, I've been moving kind of slowly here, so I would actually like to pick up the pace a little bit. However, I feel like I need to explore this floor. I mean, the curse room might have another guppy item in it, and I would really appreciate that. So anti-grav tiers doing a little bit better now that our tiers are higher, but I still really just would prefer not to have it. Okay, a couple black hearts, totally worth it. Let's also, or I should say it totally paid off. That bomb also paid off, excellent. And we need 1 more pip on our Krampus if we wanted to just nuke the boss, except it looks like that's not gonna happen, so oh well, we'll just go fight the boss without it. Alright. Make our way over there. So yeah, when I was younger, kind of my history with game systems, because I was mentioning that my parents bought me a PS1 a long time ago. I think we had an NES. Yes, we had an NES when I was younger. I say I think like I don't know, but actually after thinking about it for about 0.2 seconds, yes, I'm positive that we had. Whoa, that went with him. Usually when enemies teleport, Explosivo falls off of them. So that's cool that it did that. But anyway, yeah, of course we had an NES, and I remember playing a lot of Afterburner on it, but also, you know, of course, Super Mario Brothers. And those are really the only games I remember having. But, yeah, so we had an NES, and of course I really liked that thing. And that was what we had until years later when my parents bought us a PlayStation. So I took a giant leap. I played pretty much no Super Nintendo at all. That like was not a system to me at the time. And then friends of mine had N64s, which just blew my fucking gourd when I was a kid. Like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw Mario 64 for the first time. It was like literally a heaven machine that you could play, you know, that was hosting Mario 64. It was all that I ever wanted for the rest of my life. Yeah, we never actually got our own N64. Oh, I forgot to use this Joker card. Well, now we're on Mom Floor, so I think I'll just use it. And we have ourselves an Angel Room. The Relic is a fantastic item that I am very happy to have. But yeah, so we went straight to the PlayStation from that. I did, at least. And then that's really where a lot of my early gaming memories really start to come from. Besides, like, I did emulate a lot of Super Nintendo, so I did end up having, you know, a relatively rich Super Nintendo experience just through, you know, thankfully having a computer. And that got me a lot of, you know, NES games as well, and some Genesis and that kind of stuff. So I played plenty of I ended up playing plenty of Super Nintendo, but as far as what I owned, that was, you know, there was a lot of PS1. So games like Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy VII, Crash Bandicoot, Vigilante 8 and Twisted Metal, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, you know, those are games that really, really kind of resonate with me as games that shaped the gamer that I am today. You know, Brave Fencer Musashi was another big one that I remember playing a lot. And one thing, and one thing that I brought up earlier, Goathead, very happy to have it. One thing that I brought up earlier was that when I was younger, I played that one demo disc so much, and we had another demo disc also that had like Medieval on it, and I remember playing that a shitload, and it's just weird to think that as a kid I had that kind of time to just play a demo over and over again. Recently, the only game that I had the only game that I had a demo of that I played multiple times, that I can think of, like in the last several generations, has been, Catherine, the Atlas game Catherine. I remember having a demo of that before it came out and playing it a whole bunch. And then DMC Devil May Cry. I remember playing that demo a few times because I really enjoyed it. But yeah, just as a kid though, I played these demos all the time. And the other thing similar to that I remember doing all the time is starting games over. I can't tell you how many times I played the first few hours of Final Fantasy VII and the first few hours of Brave Fencer Musashi. Also, Brave Fencer Musashi came with a demo of Final Fantasy VIII. I remember playing that Final Fantasy VIII demo several times, and it's just weird to have that kind of time. I could go downstairs, I could play any of my games, and there were demos that to my young mind were just as good as a full game that I had. Of course, though, when I say that a lot of PS1 games kind of shaped the gamer that I am today, those old NES and Super Nintendo games that I played emulated for many years was a big part of it as well. You know, of course, Super Mario Brothers was a big deal. Of course, Mario World was a big deal. I didn't really appreciate Mario 3 until later in life. You know, I played it when I was younger, and I thought it was fun. I didn't really recognize it for quite the game that it was until only recently, though. For a long... might as well take those, I guess. For a very long time, I thought Mario World was the best. And really, it still is almost the best. But, you know, recently, I think I gotta hand it to Mario 3. So, we have a bunch of money, we have Steam sale, and we have, restock. So, there are just a bunch of items here to get. I really don't want Broken Stopwatch, but at the same time, I want to see another item appear. So... Let's see here. Oh, whoops, I just didn't mean to do that, really. Let's buy Broken Stopwatch just so we can buy a couple more items here. Okay. Then we got a Bible. There's a couple things I want to try here. I really want to see if, even though I have Steam sale, if another one will show up in the shop. And I would love to Diplopia it and see what happens. So, we've been into the secret room. I'll have to check. Because, man, if I could get, like, just a super broken-ass run going, that would be really cool. Did I already blow up this guy? I did. I already blew up the shopkeeper as well. And this is Depths 2, meaning we're not going to see another shop. So, now I gotta buy this Bible. Sharp plug. Huh. Weird, weird, weird. Sharp plug. Is there any more money that I can squeeze out of this floor? I guess I shouldn't have left the room. Maybe if I used the hourglass to turn back time, I would have been able to, get my money back? Or something? That would have been really weird. But it doesn't look like we're gonna break the game open this time. Gosh, it sucks that an arcade didn't spawn. Maybe I came to the floor with too much, with too little money. I'm not sure. I don't want to dwell on this too much, but I feel like I'm really close to an outright broken game right now. There's just not enough consumables on the floor to make it happen, though. No justice card. That card over there, by the way, is not a justice card. It is a magician card. I know that much. Batteries that aren't gonna do anything for me. I'm gonna prove it also. Before you say anything, boom, it's a magician card. We all know. For some reason, this room that has a card behind a lock, it's always a magician card, so now you know. As a little PSA for you. Yeah, okay, I guess we're not gonna break this game open like I wanted to. I want to use this item though just because it's funny and interesting. Then we can take Sharp Plug. Then what if I leave and come back? Yeah, Sharp Plug is still for sale even though I already have it. I shouldn't have left and come back. What if I used Hourglass? Then maybe that... I don't know. I just don't know how the Hourglass really works, you know? Oh, well. Alright. Well, let's move it. Let's go kill Mom. And let's, try to kill Mom's heart and see if I can end this daily. But, yeah. I was really hoping that maybe I'd be able to buy enough items for Steam sale to pop up. Or maybe one of the, item guys would drop it. Who knows, though? Maybe that doesn't happen. I've gotten multiple Steam fights from Greed Fights. I'm not sure if you can get it from just blowing up the guys multiple times. Why did that shadow show up for so long? And what the hell is blowing me up? I think it's a random tier effect that's doing it. But, yeah, once that happens, let's try to Mom's Knife. The knife? Yeah. Okay, I'm taking way too much damage, like, not paying attention here. Trying to use these items in weird ways. Also, why don't I hit Krampus's head? Alright. We'll grab this. Blow that up. Grab a Polaroid. I'll come in here. Actually not fight the angel statue because we only have one bomb anyway. Actually, I will fight the angel statue because I want to get an angel statue on room 1. Or an angel room, and that is a large bonus to your angel room chances if you have one of the key pieces. Alright, trying to use, anti-grav tears as intended here. It's just not a good item! I think it is a tears upgrade, though, so there, at least there's that. Alright, so, key piece, that greatly increases my chances of getting a, angel room on the next floor. Drink some water. Alright. Oh, great. Okay. Not too bad. Alright, what do we got in here? Oh, no bombs. Alright. So since this is a practice run, and I'm not actually gonna get ranked, I kind of feel like I'm gonna... I should pick up the pace a little bit, maybe, maybe just end the run pretty soon here. Try to kill Mom's heart. What are you? Blank rune. Is that just a random rune effect? Resistance that gave me? Yeah, maybe I should have used it in the boss room. Whoa. You know, I feel like I've been pushed out of the way by the rocks on that thing before. Like, I feel like the skeletal mom hands that blast out the rocks, I'm not sure if those rocks actually hurt you. I've seen some of my own evidence to suggest that it doesn't. You just totally whiffed there. That's okay, though. Alright, let's bring this up. Blast him. Okay, so this is one situation where anti-grav tears aren't the worst thing in the world. So we can stock them up when this happens. I really like that animation that he does where he breaks the umbilical cord and it sends one of those guys out. Mr. Fred still appears to be broken, though. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he doesn't explode. He just, like, makes a wincy face and then disappears. It's bizarre. Guppy's tail brings us ever closer to the Guppy Dream. And I don't really mind not getting an Angel Room on Womb 2 since that'll be the end of the game. So since that is essentially our last Devil deal, I will just take Guppy's tail there, and we will also move on to the rest of this floor now that I have the bomb that I needed to do that thing. Go into this shop, that's the word I was looking for. Get that money that I probably won't have any use for, but you never know! Actually, Judgment Buddies are a pretty safe bet. I see a lot of Judgment Buddies in the womb. There's that one room that has a Judgment and a Devil Beggar. You get both. I like that room. You can usually get something good out of it. Alright, let's see what we get here. Whoa, that is payout. Oh, right, we have Mom's Key! Another luck upgrade. Explosivo will take care of that guy if I don't. I really like Explosivo as an item. I think it is very good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright. But yeah, talking about historical significance with video games, I mean, the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo have a very, very special place in my heart, and while I did play them a lot younger emulated, since then, in my recent years, if you guys haven't caught on, if you guys don't see any of my other stuff besides Isaac, it's kind of a big deal to me lately. I'm not a huge collector, but Flex and I, my brother, my partner in streaming and other such crimes, we do a retro games based show, and it's a big deal to me to have everything as actual hardware when we play it. So I have a Nintendo, I have a Super Nintendo, I have a 64, I have a Sega Master System, and those games I don't play on an HD TV even. I go very like purist with it, where I always play them. I have a CRT in my basement specifically that is my retro station, and that's where I play those games. And we've also just done a lot of stuff lately where, you know, one day I realized, you know what? I've never beaten The Legend of Zelda. And that is a very enviable position to be in. I like haven't even really played it. I mean, I had it on my DS, and when I was younger, you know, my brother actually had an NES when we were younger, after my parents had one, and he had The Legend of Zelda, and it was a game that, you know, I played every once in a while, and I would just like wander around the map and get lost and be like, okay, I found level 2 somehow, I guess, so I'll remember that. No, I found level 3, I guess, but I just want to do level 1, and then eventually I'd find level 1. By good game design, it is in a pretty easy to find, and definitely a spot that you will explore when you see it. And I would do level 1 and be like, wait a minute, okay, where was level 2 now? This place is gigantic. I cannot find my way around, and I just never really got very far in the game. See, those guys just die when you fight all the other guys. And so I realized one day that, you know, that's a very enviable position to be in. Small rock, love it. So Flex and I took what is now the copy of Legend of Zelda that I have, because in my later years then, I went out and I got a copy of the game, even though I didn't really end up getting around to playing it for a very long time. But we took that copy, and we thought, everybody says these games are super cryptic and hard to find out, or hard to figure out, these old NES games, and that it's kind of a flaw with them, a lot of people seem to think. And we thought, you know what, fuck that. We're gonna sit down with a notebook, some colored pencils, a pen, and we are gonna write down what everybody says and draw a map and play this game like it was meant to be played back in the 80s. So since I feel like I was born, and basically here's what I'm getting at overall, is since I was born a little bit later than the prime time to be a kid playing NES, I was born in 1990. I'm only 25, so while I had an NES, it wasn't really the prime time, and I didn't have all the classics like Castlevania and Legend of Zelda. So, whoops! So, in my recent years, when I've grown an appreciation for what those games did, and just the fact that I haven't spoiled it for myself, and I've grown generally an appreciation for video games, and a mindset not to spoil things in games for myself, I've taken it as a hobby lately to play old games as they were meant to be played. Not looking anything up, just sitting down and actually taking notes while I play them. And Flex has played those with me, and we have to this day now 100% completed The Legend of Zelda. We almost 100% completed Zelda 2, but we did complete Zelda 2. The only thing we didn't get is I imagine that there's another heart container somewhere that we didn't find. At the end of the game, we only had 7 heart containers and 8 magic containers. So yeah, I imagine there's another one of those somewhere. But anyway, and like, man, first of all, there is just no greater satisfaction than beating those old games. And then on top of that, I feel like I'm fulfilling an old part of gaming history that I missed out on originally. And so what I'm getting at overall is that even though Fate's reward, your fate beside you. That's right, this guy shoots. He shoots tears similar to your own, though, like Incubus, except at a slower rate? I don't know, this guy's weird. Anyway, what I'm saying is that even though I missed out on those prime years, I have lately grown the appreciation for video games enough to not spoil the good times that I can still have with games, and I've been going through and filling in those gaps for myself. So now I am proudly I can 100% beat The Legend of Zelda. I can sit down and beat Contra without cheating. I can, I sat down, similar to what we did with Zelda, I sat down with the original Metroid and mapped out that entire game. Including the dungeons and all that, and we 100%ed, or I 100%ed Metroid on my own. So, if you are out there, and you have never beaten The Legend of Zelda, the original, for NES, or the original Metroid for NES, or Zelda 2, just since these are the games that we've played, or you can't beat Contra without cheating, you know, that kind of thing, get yourself an NES. Go online. They're not that much. Get an NES. Get these games. I can tell you, I have never had the satisfaction in games that I've had from playing these old games and beating them all on my own. It's such a great time. So yeah, that's all. You know, I'd like to. I'm somewhat of an enthusiast nowadays, and I wish I could say that, you know, I'm like beside James Rolfe and Mike Matei as people who grew up with when those were all they had. But alas, I was not. So I'm doing all that I can now, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job of it. Contra, by the way, man, that game's awesome. Holy shit. It is so much better without the 30 lives cheat. Because with the 30 lives cheat, you just... I don't know, man. What is this? I gotta check this out. With the 30 lives cheat, you just play the game and you die sometimes and it doesn't really matter, and then maybe you beat it and maybe you don't, and it's not really all that satisfying. But, so what the hell did this item do? I'm really not sure. But, man, you play it with no cheats, and you actually got to get good at it, and it's incredible. Anyway, here's the trophy. So we got 19,000, almost 20,000 as our score. Not really sure how that would have done, but man, it is a hell of a lot better than the 871 points that we got originally. So, yeah, sorry I blew it right away on that fucking haunt fight, but, at least I did better and completed it later. I hope to see you guys on the next daily, and hopefully I'll do better next time as well. Let's see how we ended up yesterday. I didn't check that out. Yesterday, overall, we ended up in the 2000s, so that's pretty good. And among my friends, we ended up, hey, I beat Flex, and he was my only friend that played yesterday. So, you know. I'd like to have more friends to compete against, but at the same time, I would like them to be my own friends so that it's actually, you know, someone I know I'm competing against, and not like, otherwise I might as well just be looking at this, where, yeah, I got 2000th, so, or in the 2000s, that is. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Probably will be playing a lot more StarCraft tomorrow on the stream also, so if you guys ever tune into the Twitch channel, you can see all kinds of different games, and on Fridays you can see all the retro games like I've been talking about. We do most of this stuff live, so yeah, anyway, have a good one, thanks for watching, I'll see you guys next time hopefully, bye-bye, yeah!